What's going on, guys? Coach Noob back in the building with another one. As usual, it's going to be jam packed full of jewels. And your time is always appreciated because you could be doing anything, but you hear me checking out these reviews. And it's another wild one. It's about a man who killed his girlfriend after they had an argument, and then he killed himself outside their house, man. So let's check it out.
To Bushwick, we want to tell you about a story we've been following. A fight that escalated and turned into a murder-suicide, leaving two people without their lives. Now let's take a listen here. We are sending things over to News 12's Julia Joseph. She's been reporting on this story. Julia, what can you tell us about this tragedy?
Look, mental health, physical health, spiritual health, decision making, bro. And like she said, a fight escalated, and it's always some type of argument or something, man, that just leads into other stuff, bro. That's why it's so important to be able to know when to just walk away and when not to argue with your female, which it shouldn't be ever. You should never argue with her for anything, man. I'm not saying you won't experience like feelings and stuff like that. At the same time, man, you got to let a female be heard, man. You can't go back and forth with them. There's no winning an argument, man. It's not. It just really doesn't happen. You know that a lot of times they have difficulty taking accountability if they were wrong in a situation. And, we don't know what happened here or anything like that. We just know it so far was an argument, man, and it got out of hand and took a turn for the worse. So just be mindful of that. Like, no arguing, man. Go find some way to cool off and release that energy that you got in a positive way so you don't release it in a negative way and make a decision that you won't be able to take back.
Noel, right here at my feet is where 41-year-old Gabriel Sanchez shot his girlfriend this morning before turning the gun on himself. We got that confirmed by his family members here at the scene just hours ago, and they're just as confused as everyone else is in this neighborhood. They're overcome with sadness, but really just trying to figure out what sparked this violent eruption out of their son and friend. Ambulances and a crime scene is what neighbors here on Jefferson Avenue woke up to this morning.
I actually overheard someone arguing outside, and then it led into a scream and then a shot fired, which followed by a second shot and then a third shot.
The first shot killing a 32-year-old woman, and the last two, the bullets Gabriel Sanchez sprung on himself.
After that, it was silent, and then when I looked out the window, I actually saw two people down.
And that's crazy because this dude used two bullets for himself, man, and one for her, which is, it's wild because and when you make that kind of decision, man, and you go through it like unaliving somebody, and then you realize, like a lot of these videos, man, a lot of times they realize what they done if they did, and they just end up unaliving themselves, man, because either like they don't want to go on without the person or they don't want to deal with the consequences of what happened. But either way, it's definitely like a sign of mental health, man, when you have to take things to that magnitude over an argument. It's never worth it. And it's just it's an example of how you should just walk away from that situation and come back and talk to the person, come back and talk to your woman later. And if you always arguing with her and stuff like that, man, it just, end it and find another woman. That's the best thing to do. Or end it, work on yourself, build yourself up, find out why you were even triggered in arguing with the woman all the time, stuff like that, man, and then get into a relationship after you build yourself back up. That's really the best thing that you could do for yourself.
The graphic content, News 12 will not be sharing the video, but from what we saw and heard, the woman was running here up Jefferson Avenue, screaming at Sanchez to leave her alone. You'll see the two right here before Sanchez pulls out the gun.
All right, so she was asking him to leave her alone, and by that time, the argument had already gotten so out of hand for him that he felt like that's what he had to do to make himself feel better or make the situation better. And then at the end of it, he ended up realizing that that wasn't the best decision to make. And he made a worse decision by unaliving himself as well as the girl, which, it really could have been avoided right when you asked, right when she asked him to leave her alone. And, sometimes when you are in your feelings like that, you so far in your feelings and you're not thinking clearly, then you make irrational decisions. And that's a perfect example of that. Leading with your feelings and your emotions when you're supposed to be logical and rational so you don't make decisions like this.
Son is not like that. I didn't even know my son had a gun.
Sanchez's mom speaking to us over the phone moments ago.
I just don't understand. I still can't get it through my head. But he did. He had the most beautiful smile in the world, the most beautiful eyes.
A memorial.
Yeah, and a lot of times, people don't tell their moms what's going on in their relationships and stuff like that, especially if, like, you're a man and, they're always going to say the best things, best parts about you when you were here. And it really sounds like she didn't know anything. Like, she wasn't involved in his relationships like that with his women and stuff. She might have known who the woman was, but nothing like their personal business. And like they said, the whole neighborhood was really shocked. So, just again, outside looking in, you never know what's really going on with a couple in their relationship, man. And that's why it's so important to make sure that you or yourself, like your mental health is straight, physical health, spiritual health, believing in something, so you strive to be a better person every day, positive things, and stay away from negative things. Because, like I always say, the decisions you make affect you and everyone around you. And on top of that, what you see, what you hear, what you listen to, what you eat, all that has an effect on you, man. So try to keep it as positive as you can.
Pier was placed on this quiet block. Neighbors still trying to comprehend what they heard this morning.
These people know everything.
Now, there was a memorial growing for Sanchez, but now it's actually been kicked away by the other family. They've now replaced it with some flowers for the female victim. Just a fully tragic situation for each family here that was involved. Police right now are investigating what happened, and we will continue to bring you the details as we get them. For now, we're in Bushwick. Julia Joseph, News 12 Brooklyn.
All right, man, and it's messed up too that they kicked away his stuff out for the situation. Even though he did what he did, at the same time, 2 people did lose their lives there today, and like they said, we don't know exactly what happened or what led up to that, what was going through his mind to even do something like that. But it couldn't have been the best decision that he could have made. And like she said, it was a traumatic situation. And like I said earlier, the decisions you make affect you and everyone around you. And they got, both families were traumatized, especially the woman's family, because they're kicking away his memorial and stuff like that, putting up more stuff for her. And it just brought, tension in between 2 families and off of a decision that one person made. And that's an example of how the decisions you make affect you and everyone around you. And it's just a reason why you should always make the best decisions for yourself and keep them positive. Go, don't argue with that woman. Go do something else, man, until you calm down or, so you don't end up making a terrible decision. They can't come back from this now because you only get one life and that's it, bro. So And it's Coach Noob. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you're digging this kind of content. Anytime is always appreciated because you can be doing anything but you heard me checking out these reviews. Until next time, I'm out.